You don't struggle with money because you're irresponsible. You don't struggle because you're lazy. And you definitely don't struggle because you lack discipline. The truth is unsettling, a little uncomfortable, and backed by neuroscience. Your brain is not designed for modern money. It's designed for survival, not savings. It's designed for immediate reward, not long-term stability. Today, you're going to see exactly how people with extreme money skills think so differently because they have trained their brains. And once you understand those patterns, you'll never see money the same way again. Let's start with a simple question. If you were given the choice between receiving $20 right now or $50 in 2 weeks, what would you choose? Most people choose the $20, not because it's smarter, but because their brain heavily discounts the value of the future. The brain sees now as survival, urgency, safety, and later as distant, foggy, almost unreal. That's delay discounting. Think about your biggest spending regrets. Almost all of them came from emotional decisions made fast, without thinking. You didn't plan them, you reacted. A small hit of dopamine, a quick desire, an artificial sense of reward. That's your limbic system, the emotional brain pulling you toward anything that feels good in the moment. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain that handles long-term thinking, goals, and financial planning, is slow, quiet, and easily overpowered. So every time you tell yourself, "I'll save more next month," you are trying to win a war using logic against emotion. And emotion wins. Brain scans show that spending money activates reward centers the same way sugar or social validation does. Worse, digital spending reduces the pain of paying almost to zero. When you tap your phone, your brain doesn't feel the cost. When you swipe a card, it barely registers. But when you hand over physical cash, the brain actually lights up with a mild pain response. This is why spending online feels easier, lighter, less real. And this is why so many people feel shocked when they finally check their bank balance. Meanwhile, people with extreme money skills operate with a totally different neural script. They don't think in dollars first, they think in hours of life. If something costs $90, they don't say, "It's just 90, they say, "This costs 6 hours of my life." Suddenly the purchase feels heavier, more serious, more real. They have trained their brain to see time instead of price. They've rewired the instinctive emotional reaction into a logical calculation. They also do something else the average brain never does. They simulate future regret before they buy anything. When a normal person sees something they want, they imagine the immediate pleasure. A financially skilled thinker imagines the consequences. They mentally jump forward. How will I feel after the excitement fades? Will this matter in 1 week, in 1 month, in 1 year? That single mental jump puts the prefrontal cortex in control, and the limbic impulse loses its power. Another difference is opportunity cost. Most people see a price tag in isolation. A high-skill thinker automatically asks, "If I spend this here, what am I losing?" They see every dollar spent as a dollar taken away from some other choice. Every yes is a no somewhere else. This neural habit stops impulsive spending before it even begins. Even their emotional responses are different. Where the average person feels nothing when losing small amounts, $3 subscriptions, $6 snacks, these people feel discomfort. Not fear, not guilt, awareness. Their brain is trained to detect financial leakage the same way you would notice a leak in your house. While most brains go numb, their brains light up with a subtle alert. "This is draining my future." Now imagine you're walking through a store. For most people, everything is designed to control their brain. The music, the lighting, the layout, the colors, the discount signs, these triggers manipulate dopamine, making you feel like you're getting a deal or rewarding yourself. A skilled thinker doesn't fall for it. They actually feel the manipulation, and that awareness dissolves the emotional effect. Their brain switches from "I want this" to "Why do I want this?" And that single question shuts down impulsive behavior like turning off a switch. They avoid impulse zones and limited-time deals. They don't buy things placed near the checkout. They don't shop when stressed, lonely, tired, or emotionally drained. Because they know their limbic system is strongest when their energy is lowest. They protect their brain like an athlete protects their muscles. Now let's talk about what they do daily. Before they buy anything, their brain asks 3 questions automatically. Do I need this? Will I still care about this next month? Does this improve my life or just add noise? These questions interrupt dopamine spikes, drag logic into the conversation, and create space to think. Most people avoid these questions because they want the pleasure. Skilled people embrace the discomfort because it protects their future. When they evaluate subscriptions, they do it with cold clarity. Is this worth the life energy it costs? If not, it's cancelled instantly. No attachment, no excuses. They know small drains destroy big goals. And they treat every dollar as a soldier. Every soldier needs a mission. If a dollar has no mission, they don't let it wander off. So how do you rewire your brain? Start with the 10-second pause. Every time you want to buy something, pause for 10 seconds. This tiny delay lets the emotional brain calm down and gives your logical brain time to activate. It breaks the impulse circuit. Most bad purchases happen within 5 seconds. If you survive the first 10, you win. Next, convert every price into working hours. Make the cost physical, tangible, human. The brain cares more when money feels like time. Then use the future self technique. Before spending, imagine your life 12 months from now. Imagine your future self thanking you or regretting your choices. The clearer that mental image becomes, the more your brain respects the future. Next, reduce exposure to buying triggers. Unfollow brands, turn off notifications, delete unnecessary shopping apps. You cannot win a battle you keep walking into. The fewer temptations your brain sees, the fewer dopamine spikes it must fight. Then track spending emotionally, not just mathematically. Write down not just what you bought, but how you felt before and after. Patterns will appear. Maybe you spend when you're bored. Maybe when you're stressed. Maybe when you feel lonely. Emotional awareness is the beginning of financial control. And here's the final truth. Money habits are not about discipline. Discipline burns out. Motivation fades. Willpower collapses under pressure. But brain patterns, those are automatic. Once you build the neural pathways, your brain starts protecting your money without effort. Every good decision strengthens the pathway. Every decision strengthens identity. Identity becomes habit. Habit becomes destiny. You are not stuck with the brain you have today. You can train it. You can rewire it. You can build the neural circuits of someone who handles money with precision, clarity, and long-term thinking. And someday soon, you will look back and realize, it was never about being smarter. It was about learning to think differently. And once you change the way you think, the way you live will follow.